Well, welcome to our Prompt 200 prompt book series, art series. I decided to do this intro because I got to thinking some of my old viewers kind of get the joke when they see the self-portraits of me in the drawings, but any new viewers wouldn't understand. In my woodworking series, I pretty much wore this costume all the time for continuity. A print, plaid shirt, suspenders, jeans, railroad hat. So when you see the little self-portraits in there and wonder who in the heck that guy is, it's me. All right, let's get started. Today we're going to go through prompt 101 to 119, a total of 18 prompts. And so let's get started and knock off the chatter. Here's the book we're working on, 200 drawing prompts. I got kind of addicted to it. Already gone through the first 100. Today we're going to start on prompt 101, which is a megaphone. There's old Memphis yelling into a megaphone. This is back in the day, you know, before they had the electronic megaphones. These were a big deal at football games, and coaches even used to use them. Next prompt is 102, Mohawk. Interesting story. You know, this Mohawk haircut really was popularized on June 6, 1944, when the 101st Airborne was dropped behind enemy lines, and they had a Native American as part of the unit, and his idea was to use the Mohawk haircut that the warriors used to use back in the day, and it caught on, and now it's become often used by guys going into combat. Prompt 103 is candelabra. The guy who really made the candelabra kind of famous, if you're of a certain age, I guarantee you know who it was, Liberace. If you're not of a certain age, you have no idea who he is. But if you are of a certain age, you're guaranteed to know who he was. A flamboyant piano player, who philosophy was that excess was perfect. Kind of carried on some of the flamboyant styles and so forth, was kind of carried on by Elton John 30 years later. Next prompt, 104. The prompt is dream car, and I couldn't think of any dream car. You know, I don't care anything about sports cars and all that stuff. So I got to thinking, what would be my dream car? Well, my dream car would have been if I would have kept my 1961 Biscayne. I traded it off for a Corvette in about 1972. If I would have kept that 1961 Biscayne right there, I'd be a rich man right now, because I wouldn't have spent $1 million on buying new cars. I could have just kept this. It was a perfect car. Perfect. You could work on it. You could get to everything. You understood everything. It didn't have any electronics. Zero electronics. My dream car. 1961 Biscayne. Next prompt is rainy day, 105. We just got old Memphis here walking in the rain. Kind of a sissy using that umbrella. You know, a real man would just walk in the rain. Next prompt is Tugboat 106. Standard little tugboat. That big thing right there is a big water rope used to push against the side of the ship. And then these are all fenders. They're called fenders. They're big, they're actually kind of solid with foam in them, but that kind of to back up against the ship. And there's a pilot house, radar. And since it's underway, the flag is up on the mast. It was parked in port. The flag would be down on the stern. The next one is Ship's Anchor 107. This is what you're tempted to draw one of those old time anchors you see in the movies, but this is what a real ship's anchor looks like. They are massive, as you can imagine. Next one is 108. Dreamcatcher 108. Dreamcatcher is it's kind of a ceremonial or spiritual deal that the Native Americans came up with. It's kind of a net. It's got kind of a ring around it, and then it's got the net in the various that cuts through across the way, often depicted in pictures with with something scary stuck in it. Like I put a wolf. It's got then decorations hanging down from it, feathers and jewelry and various things. Now the notion is you hung this over a baby's crib or a child's crib or a person while they sleep, and the dream catcher would filter out all the bad dreams. I don't think anybody really believed that, but it was a good traditional kind of thing. Next prompt is Cobra's Head. A lot of different species of cobras. The main, I think the reason they picked cobras because they're famous for having these they spread their back out, kind of make themselves bigger. And I made the teeth a little bigger than they actually are. This is another one of those drawings where I must have had time on my hands, because I went through and drew all the scales throughout the whole thing. Even back here on the tail. 110. 110 is Rusty Truck. So that's a Model T pickup truck. Somebody left out in the woods. What happens when you leave cars outside they sink into the ground, and they're finally stopped by the frame, which rusts the frame out, and the engines almost always start because they're coated in grease and stuff, but once the frame is gone, you're pretty much shot. But that's what a Model T truck looks like. Next one is Potato Head Man, 111. So, Potato Head Man there, he wanted to dress up like Memphis, so he did. Looks like Potato Head Man got his shoes on the wrong feet. Okay, next 112. So 112 is. 112 is Cheshire Cat. 112. A Cheshire Cat is a kind of cat that if you look at them a certain way, straight ahead, they kind of look like they're smiling. And a guy named Lewis Carroll wrote a story called Alice in Wonderland. And this is the arrangement that everybody uses, because this is the illustration that's in the book. It's not exactly like this. As a matter of fact, there's text in here. And in the actual illustration in the book, Alice has dark hair. She's much shorter, dark dress. But there's the Cheshire Cat. In the story, the Cheshire Cat was kind of magical. He could disappear and leaving nothing but a smile. And there's Alice. Okay, number 113 is Polka Dot Bow Tie. So, there's old Memphis got his going to meeting outfit on. You didn't think old Memphis could look so clean, did you? Rocking that polka dot bow tie. Next one is 114, Party Hat. Of course, don't want to just draw a party hat, and so a lot of people draw the party hat on a dog or a cat or an elephant or whatever. I decided to put the party hat on E.T. Next is drawing prompt number 15, 115, Barracuda. And there's a barracuda Kind of a streamlined fish, kind of a primitive fish, kind of like a pike. Very fast, known for being kind of aggressive. I don't know if you can see the detail, but I actually got a lot of scales in there. And a little detail, you can just barely see the little teeth there. They got these little spots, little black spots on their side. Okay, 116. 116 is in the ocean again, or not, actually not in the ocean. The piranha is a South American fish that's known for having some pretty serious dentition there. And I think they mostly eat carrion. But that's what a piranha looks like. And I got the scales in there too. If you don't put the scales, if fish has scales and you leave them out, they kind of look naked. There's this. I think this is a. I think this is a red-bellied piranha. It's the largest of the species. It can grow to about 24 inches long. There's about 5 or 6 species of piranha, and they all live in the Amazon basin. Okay, next prompt is coffin. There's a distinction between coffin and casket. A coffin, excuse me, a coffin is usually a box with 6 sides and made of wood, and it has a removable top. A casket usually has 4 sides or 8 sides and has a hinged door on the top. I kind of did a compromise here and kind of made my version of the Munster Dragula. It was taken from a Munsters. You probably don't even know what the Munsters were. It was a TV series in the early 1960s. In 1965, there was an episode called Hot Rod Herman, and Grandpa, right there, he built a dragster called the Dragula, and it kind of looked like this. $118. $118 is Scary Shadow. I couldn't think of a scary shadow. Spiders weren't scary. Ghosts weren't scary. Sharks weren't scary. I couldn't think of anything that was really scary to me until I thought of Memphis running. Now that would be a scary shadow, wouldn't it? And finally, for Saturday, December 2nd, today's drawing is Maze 119. Did you ever meet somebody that always wanted to do things the hard way? I remember the movie Sling Blade when Carl said, they were looking at that lawnmower, and he says, it ain't got no gas. Well, you know, those guys were making it too difficult. And you can see old Memphis here is kind of puzzled about this maze. Old Memphis sees something particular about this maze, and it's doesn't seem right. Put in the comments if you can see something about this maze that Carl would probably figure out. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching.